Hey everyone. So in this video we're going to be solving some basic equations, and one thing to kind of pay attention to is a couple of these problems are going to involve some fractions, and that tends to be tougher for students. So make sure you're kind of paying attention to how we deal with problems that have fractions in them, like this first one. So in this first problem we've got negative x over 3 plus 2 equals 11. So my first job is to try to isolate the x term. So the stuff that's not x, I want to get to the other side, and that starts with the 2. So I'm going to subtract 2 because it was plus 2, so I get a minus 2 from both sides. When I do that, I'm going to get negative x over 3 equals 9. Right? Now, to get rid of, I want to get the x all by itself, so now I have to undo dividing by negative 3. Because it's negative, I can undo dividing negative 3 at the same time. So to do that, I'm going to multiply both sides by whatever's in that denominator. So I'm going to multiply both sides by negative 3. All right, and two things are going to happen there because of that. First, the 3's are going to cancel out. All right, because 3 divided by 3 is 1. But also the negatives are going to cancel out because a negative times a negative is a positive. So that on the left side leaves me with x. And on the right side, I get 9 times negative 3 is negative 27. And there's my final answer. Okay, we could check our work here. We could plug that number back in to x. So I'm going to try that right here. I'm going to do a little check. I'm going to say negative, and then on the top, I plug in negative 27 over 3 plus 2, and I just want to know, does that equal 11? Well, negative negative is positive, so 27 divided by 3 is 9, plus 2, which is 11. So we're happy. So that is definitely my answer. Okay, let's try another. On this problem, I've got 2x plus 7 equals 8x minus 11. So here I have x's on both sides, and my first job is to get the x's together on the same side. So to do that, I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides. You could also subtract 8x from both sides, but I did this because I'm going to keep 8 minus 2 is going to get me a positive number. So these cancel out. I get 7 equals 6x minus 11. All right, now we're kind of back to where we were in last problem. I need to get the 6x alone, so I'm going to add 11 to both sides. And I get, what is that, 18 equals 6x. And then I divide by 6 on both sides, because in order to undo 6x, I need to divide by 6. And that's going to get me 18 divided by 6 is 3 equals x. All right. Problem number 3. 5/4 x equals 20. Here's another fraction problem. Right? There's a couple ways to do this one, but the most common way that people seem to like the best is to multiply by the reciprocal. Right? So when I have already the x term is by itself, so I'm ready to get x alone. So I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal. The reciprocal is 4/5. And what I do is I have to do that on both sides. So times 4/5. Right? In order to make that multiplication happen on the right side, I'm going to put 20 over 1. We did that in the pre-skills a little bit. All right, so 4/5 times 5/4, the 5's cancel, the 4's cancel, and we just get x. So I have x equals, and now here I could multiply across. I could do 20 times 4 is 80, and 1 times 5 is 5, and that simplifies to 16. You could also notice that I can cross-reduce a little bit. The 20 and the 5 would reduce to 4 and 1, and then I get 4 times 4 is 16. So 16 is my answer there. All right, and one last problem here, number 4. Right, here's another fraction. What you got to notice here, though, is that this fraction has a couple things in the numerator, x minus 2. So in a way, when you see that, it's kind of like there's parentheses there. All right, so the first step we have to do is to free that numerator up. All right, so in this problem, the first thing I do is undo the dividing by 3. All right, and to undo dividing by 3, I multiply by 3. So I'm going to multiply by 3 on both sides. Those cancel. You don't distribute, because 3 divided by 3 is 1. Right, that cancels out. So on the left, all I get is x minus 2. On the right, I get 15, and now it's a super easy problem. Add 2 to both sides, and I get x equals 17. All right, so thanks for watching.